to a Creation Dust live stream. We're streaming live and we're live and stream.
Try not to get in my own way. Look the camera. Bear and the boss lady.
What's up, Bear? How you doing, buddy?
Dad carves.
Dad, how are you?
Baby kisses.
Hey, baby kisses.
Daryl.
Daryl, welcome. We're carving a piece of pine, some sort of a Florida pine. It's definitely different than our white pine back home, but it definitely has that real pine scent. Jonesing a little bit for wood, so this is something we were able to find and access, and no luck finding a place to chainsaw carve, so we're chisel carving another face.
Bear says you have some high-class views there.
High class? Oh yeah, it's some pretty fancy looking stuff, isn't it?
Rick Smith is here.
Hey Rick.
Trucker Kev.
Trucker Kev. Quickly guys, we're going to pray over the live stream before we start. Lord Jesus, I just pray that you'd be with us, Lord. I pray that we'd represent you and your kingdom well. And I just pray that you protect the live stream, protect the technology. And Lord, we just thank you for all that you do for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Bear Mountain Chainsaw Carving is here.
Hey, Bear Mountain. Has he been in before?
Oh, I don't think so. He's watched and not said anything.
Welcome. We're glad you're here.
Trucker Kevin says, where are y'all at? I just hopped on. Nice view.
We're on Santa Rosa Island in Florida. It's near Pensacola.
Old Path Woodworks is here.
Hey, Old Path, welcome.
Wonky B is here.
Welcome, Wonky B.
Bear Mountain Carving says I have on my 321 drain service account. Amy Jo is here.
Welcome, Amy Jo.
Wonky B would like to know what you're doing.
So, I'm a little out of my comfort zone, a little bit out of my element. I do a lot of chainsaw carving. I mean, I do a fair amount of chisel carving and gouges and stuff too. But today we're working with hand tools. We're traveling, so we don't have access right now to a place to chainsaw carve. You can see I have my chainsaws over there in the corner. And now we're hoping to line up some more chainsaw carving stuff in the near future. But for right now, this is a piece of pine that I found, and we're going to attempt to carve a face into that.
Can everybody see it good? Is it dark? Bear says, heck yeah, name it Jimmy Buffett, the Islander.
What's that? No?
And they said it looks fine. Mark Tries to Carve is here.
Hey, Mark, welcome. I don't know if we gave Amy Jo a proper welcome either, so welcome, Amy Jo. For anybody that hasn't seen Amy Jo's eagles, she did just an awesome eagle carving. I was pretty impressed. And also, Mark Tries to Carve. Go check out his channel. He's doing a pretty intense drawing right now. And I'm assuming he's going to carve it. So looking forward to that.
We got someone here. I don't know how to say their whole name. I'm going to call them Reddy. Reddy is here.
Welcome, Reddy.
And Rick Smith asks, are you just on vacation down there?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're traveling a little bit. I guess it's a workcation. We're carving and making YouTube videos, and mostly trying to get out of the snow and the ice of New Hampshire is where we're typically from. But let's show them some of the other projects. This is the last live stream. If you guys haven't seen that video, check it out. And that was a week ago today we carved this. And this is a long form video we're working on. So We found shark tooth in Charleston, Carolina. So check out my shark tooth show. We turned it into a pendant. We made a pendant. And so my Indian here is wearing a shark tooth. And that wasn't a live stream. That's going to be a long form video. And, we're also working on this octopus. It's coming out kind of cool. So
We got Atlas Forever here. Said I just joined. What are you guys carving?
thanks for joining, Atlas. If you subscribed, we appreciate it. And for people that want to support the channel, we do channel memberships too. It's $3.99 a month. And we're carving a face. So it's going to be a face on a branch. We're typically chainsaw carvers, but it's going to be maybe something similar to that, a little bit different.
We got Team Quack Attack here.
Quack Attack is back.
And we got My Honey's Handmade here.
Hey, Honey's Handmade.
Daryl says the octopus looks nice.
Thank you, Daryl. There's still a little bit to go on it. I'm missing the smaller collet from my rotary tool, so we're going to be picking that up. But there's a lot of challenges to carving on the road that you don't really think about.
Rick Smith says, okay, nice work you're showing. Check the camera.
For those of you that are chiming in that are new to the channel, check out Bear and the Boss Lady. They do awesome live streams also. If you're interested in carvings, Bear did this cardinal over here. He's kind of sitting out on our balcony, keeping an eye, surveying the surroundings. But awesome guy, awesome chainsaw carver. His live streams are a lot of fun. So.
Atlas Forever says you guys make such cool stuff. I subbed.
Thank you, Atlas. We appreciate you. There's a lot of good people hanging out here on the live stream that have channels as well. And everybody give Atlas a warm welcome. But check out a lot of the people here with the blue names have YouTube channels, so be sure to check them out. A lot of talented woodworkers and wood carvers. And if you like what we're doing, you're going to appreciate a lot of their stuff also.
Kat is here.
Kat, welcome. One of our favorite people.
Rhinestone Suzanne.
Hey, Suzanne. If anybody hasn't seen Suzanne's axe that she made, just phenomenal work. I was taken aback when she started the axe. I really didn't know what kind of quality work she was capable of, and the way that thing turned out was just phenomenal. So if you haven't seen that, tune in and check it out.
Lori Keller.
Hey, Keller. We sure do love Keller. How cold are you up there in the North Country, Keller? You freezing your tail off, or what's going on? I bet you got more snow than we do. I was watching Bear and the Boss Lady's live stream last night, and it was snowing there.
Lori says it's in the 20s.
Brr.
Atlas Forever asks, how long does it take to make these?
So some of it depends on the wood. This is cottonwood bark. So this one last time we did in under 2 hours, and honestly I think an hour and a half. But this is really soft. You don't even really need a mallet to carve this stuff. You can almost just push the gouges. So this is definitely a little bit of a harder wood. Typically we're live streaming for about 2 hours, and I'm hoping to have it pretty close by then, but we'll see.
And Rick Smith says, I was just given a whole set of gouges, just need to get a mallet like you're using.
Wow, Rick, you're blessed, man. I mean, these things are not cheap. So if you got a good set of quality tools, you really got something special there.
Baby Kissy says it's snowing in Wisconsin, just lightly. We have an inch. And Lori Keller says snow and freezing rain tonight.
Oh no.
Last Breath Woodworks is here.
Hey, Last Breath. There's somebody else with a great channel. He does some awesome lathe work, and not just like not just typical lathe work. He's got some pretty specialized tools, and he's working with epoxy and doing some cool stuff. So if you haven't seen his channel, check him out and subscribe.
Baby Kisses says she uses a knife on cottonwood bark.
Wow, that's it does cut soft. And I'm a big fan of knives and whittling. I got this case knife today. And, oh my goodness.
Put it in like the light over there. It's a little darkish.
Oh my goodness, gorgeous. It's a little beauty. And that's my whittling knife, more or less, for the trip here. We had a razor's edge on it. But love carving, so love knives.
And David Bowles is here.
Hey David, welcome, glad you're here.
King G says, can we see the surroundings, please?
Show them off. Show behind, so they realize we're in the balcony.
Baby Kisses says, is that called the Canary Islands?
This is Santa Rosa Island, and it's in Florida. It's right near Pensacola.
Atlas Forever says, I bet the sunsets are pretty.
This whole area is gorgeous. We were out on you can walk across the road to the beach from here, and we went and did some shell hunting, and we're kind of like have a treasure hunting kind of a mentality sometimes. You know, we don't find gold and silver coins or anything like this, real shipwrecked treasure, but we go out and we find beachcomb, and Casey loves finding shells, so we found some really awesome shells here.
King G says, looks cool, I'd be ripping about on a bike.
Ripping about on a bike, like a motorcycle bike?
Baby Kisses says, for real, okay, neat. Mark tries to carve, says, no Bigfoot there, lol.
No, but I think we got sharks.
Bear Mountain Chainsaw Carving says, how's the fish and chips there?
You know, we're not doing a ton of fishing here. We were in South Carolina not long ago, near Charleston, Hunting Island. We were camping on the island. And we have a canoe with us. We threw the canoe on the rack on the truck, and we went out on some of the tidal rivers, and we were fishing for redfish, and we never had a bite. And I was talking to one of the local crab guys, and he was saying that the water was colder than normal. They'd had a cold snap, and they even had a little snow in that area not long before we arrived. So the fishing wasn't that good. Although we did have dolphins all around us, like surfacing, and so Casey was thrilled beyond thrilled. And we caught them on video. We got them on film. They were kind of rolling and porpoising right near our canoe. But that being said, we are going fishing tomorrow. There's a pier here. They call it like a fishing pier. And so we're gonna buy some bait and just go on the pier. I think they've been catching bonito, is what I saw in the fishing report. And what else have they been catching, Casey?
Whites, right? Red.
Whitefish, redfish.
And Spanish mackerel, I think.
Spanish mackerel. So,
Last Breath says, my brother used to live in Milton, just north of Pensacola. Man, I missed the fresh seafood when we visited down there.
Yeah, we're actually meeting Casey's aunt tomorrow. And I think we're going to have some seafood, so.
Rhinestone Suzanne says, we go to Fort Walton in Navarre every year and love it.
Hey, Rhinestone and Last Breath, any ideas of stuff to do in the area? Cool stuff that we might not know or might not be typical. We are going to Cypress Springs. We're going to load our canoe up and go to Cypress Springs here in a few days. But if there's any other cool thing that you could recommend, I mean, we're outdoors people. We like to do outdoor stuff.
Outless Forever says, a shark almost bit my sister once.
Yikes. Casey's a huge lover of animals and creatures and ocean stuff. And she swam at the Atlanta Aquarium, the Georgia Aquarium. She was in the tank with whale sharks and even real sharks swimming around. So she got to swim with those things.
No really aggressive sharks, though. Dr. James Harang is here.
Welcome, Doctor.
Bear Mountain says, bonito are good eating. Rhinestone Suzanne misses the beach so much. Daryl says, ocean perch is my favorite.
So I'm set up with the Jawhorse again, and I just cannot say enough good about this tool. If you guys think you need this tool, or if you've been on the fence about it, man, I just love it. I've spent a lot of time strapping carving wood down with ratchet straps and screwing it to stuff and all kinds of crazy things, and this is just like hitting the easy button.
Dr. James wants to know what you're carving.
So we're carving a face and a branch. We're kind of out of our element here. We're traveling right now. Typically we're chainsaw carvers, but I'm attacking a branch with some gouges, and I'm just going to knock a face into this branch.
Rhinestone Suzanne says, Henderson Beach has a small walking trail if you get over that way on the other side of Destin.
Okay.
Last Breath says, we didn't do much sightseeing when we were down there, mostly played yard games and hit the fish market every day for something to grill.
That's awesome.
And your Quantum Reality said, I slipped into the water with a wild whale shark in the Sea of Cortez, the most humbling experience I have ever had.
Wow, there's a dude that could tell us some stories, man. That sounds like a wild time.
Serial killer, cereal like the breakfast. Serial killer says, don't jump, bro. Jokes aside, that place is gorgeous.
Thank you. No worries about jumping. We're pretty happy, healthy people.
And Atlas Forever says, one time on the beach, there were the people next to me where our spot was, and they caught some baby sharks.
Yeah, I've had a few shark fishing experiences. And I used to go out with a friend out deep sea fishing, and we were mostly catching Atlantic cod off the Maine coast. And I had a shark. It was about a 6-foot shark. I bit my cod, and it actually got my jig and got hooked. And so I had a 6-foot shark. I think it was way over 100 pounds on a rod designed for cod, and it was just that was a lot to handle. It kept yanking me off balance, but it was kind of my only experience with a truly game kind of a fish, and it's just awesome. I've always wanted to go try shark fishing since.
And Serial Killer said, reminds me of the Cape Cod chip bag picture, just missing a lighthouse, lol. And Dr. James says, so both of you are traveling.
Yes, we're generally, we reside in New Hampshire. So if you check out our YouTube channel, CreationDust777, and don't forget to subscribe, you can see some of our New Hampshire adventures and travels. And we travel and do outdoor adventures, and then we tie in wood carving in with that typically. And, but yeah, for anybody that's not familiar with our channel, check it out, and don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you guys like the live stream.
Got Urban Makings here.
Welcome, Urban. And I'm curious, doctor, what sort of a doctor are you?
And got Baby Kisses said, is that line on the ocean a stone break?
It's pretty windy out there, Baby Kisses, and honestly, this is attached to the ocean, so it's tidal. I'm assuming that's some sort of a rip current or something there.
Atlas Forever asks, what is your favorite type of fish?
I'm really a big trout and salmon guy. Ocean fishing is a little, foreign to me, I guess. But we were in Alaska a few years back. Catching salmon, I think that was just phenomenal. But right in New Hampshire, we do a lot of brook trout fishing and also lake trout fishing. Mostly we fish for lake trout through the ice. And, so love trout and salmon.
Have Andre Bessa asked, where are you at?
So we're on Santa Rosa Island in Florida. It's near Pensacola.
And we got Dr. James says he's a dermatologist.
Okay.
The Runic Workshop is here.
Welcome, Runic.
And Bear Mountain Chainsaw Carving just became a channel member.
Right on. Thank you, Bear Mountain. That's awesome. We appreciate that. And, we were kind of torn about doing the memberships. We didn't want people to feel excluded and stuff like this. But for people that can support the channel through a membership, it's a great way for, just to help out the channel and that kind of a thing. So we really do appreciate that. And for people that can't afford membership, it's $3.99 a month, but all that kind of stuff can add up. So I do understand. But just watching our videos is pretty good support. So we get a little bit of something every time you guys watch a video. And also, I want to make sure you guys check out the other YouTubers that hang out here. This channel and what we do is really possible because of those people and the other members in the community. I can't say enough about the community. So anybody that's in here with a blue name, a lot of those people have their own YouTube channels, and just a lot of nice people, really good group. And I can't recommend enough that you support their channels as well and check them out.
And we got Electric Whittler here.
There's another one that has an awesome channel. If you haven't checked out Electric, definitely go check out his channel. He's a Dremel carver and doing a lot of cool stuff. He's got style.
Bear Mountain Chainsaw Carving says, no problem, I appreciate the content.
Bear Mountain, do you have like a YouTube presence or anything like that? If you have like a YouTube presence, go ahead and just put that up there so we can all, we'd all like to see what you do.
Atlas Forever says, you guys are really nice and cool people.
Everybody in here is awesome, Atlas. I can't say enough good about the community of carvers and people that hang out here. And honestly, a lot of talent. So I learn stuff from them all the time. Is there a pen or a pencil? Do you know?
I can grab one. Andre Bessa just gave us $2 and
Thank
said,
you, Andre.
little help to eat a fish. I'm gonna let you.
We appreciate that.
Oh, right here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Bear Mountain Carving said, not really, just one video. Atlas Forever wants to know what the best thing you've ever carved is.
I don't know, Casey. What do you think? I did an eagle that's pretty cool. If you go to our channel, you can see the eagle I carved, and that was actually the Alaska trip. Is worked into that video. I would say that was probably spent. That was one of my most time-consuming carvings. And, I'm pretty pleased with how it came out, and a lot of people seem to like it. So
Trucker Kevin says the eagle 100%.
Okay.
I like my mushroom lamp.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the mushroom lamp video, that thing just dropped not too long ago. A 6-foot tall mushroom that I carved and from a maple log. We turned it into a lamp.
Electric asked, is that a fresh pine branch?
It sure is electric. It's some sort of Florida pine, and it really smells like the pine scent is just massive on this thing. And it is fairly fresh, so I'm not familiar with this wood. For all I know, it may crack some.
He said it's sticky stuff.
Yeah, we're hoping to get another chainsaw carving live stream in soon, but we got to find some place to do it.
Andre Bessa says, nice view.
It's beautiful here, Andre.
Rhinestone Suzanne says, I love the mushroom lamp.
Thank you. That was an anniversary present for Casey. So.
Daryl says, I like the channel picture of the moose. Is awesome.
Yeah, the moose project is kind of a cool thing too. I didn't really think about that.
Trucker Kevin says, mushroom lamp was a very close second, but just by a whisker. Daryl says, oh no, Baby Kisses says, Daryl, the video we watched of the moose, I think is what she's talking about. They watched on their TV, she says.
Yeah, some of our videos are probably worth watching on the big screen. Some of the scenery and stuff. The bigger the screen is, you know, the better quality the picture.
Electric Whittler says, the moose for sure is my favorite Creation Dust carving. That thing is super gigantic.
It's a pretty big one for sure. There's a lot of big joinery in that project.
Atlas Forever asks, what is your favorite food?
Favorite food? You know, stuff like seafood is special. We love lobster, but just for everyday kind of stuff, man, I'm a steak guy. Give me a steak and a salad. People are laughing at us a lot because we cook a lot of steak on our videos.
Baby Kisses says, how you put the logs together was wild and it fit perfectly. Talk about the moose.
Thank you, Baby Kisses. It's a big project.
Trucker Kevin says, what was your most difficult or challenging carving of all time?
Those moose are pretty difficult. I think the video doesn't really do it justice. When you watch the video, I think it's condensed down to like a 15-minute video or something, but the project is really like a month-long project, and the scale, the size of the pieces of wood that I work with are just really big. So those are difficult projects, I think, because of the joinery and the size of it. And I did a 40-foot tall Indian head once, and I say that may compete for the most difficult. And I was up on pipe staging, 40 feet in the air, and when you're close to a carving that's that big, you know, the nose is 6 feet long, so when you're up on the staging, you can only work on one little section of the nose, and then you got to rearrange the planks and get a little lower. You carve it down, and when you're that close to it, you don't have a real good sense of perception. So you almost have to jump down off the staging and run back from a ways and view it from afar, kind of see what needs to happen. So it was a unique kind of a challenge. I was a much younger guy when I tackled that one.
And we got Keto Cheeto here from Eastern Tennessee.
Hey, Cheeto.
And we got Under the Bark. I think her name must be Sophie because everyone's calling her Sophie.
Hey, Sophie. I think I've seen Sophie on Bear and the Boss Lady's channel before. If this is the same Sophie, so welcome. We're glad you're here.
It says Love Pine. And it says yes, Sophie.
I noticed we got possum carving. It's pretty cool to see. He did a little face carving on a branch. And, his channel is Possum 350 Legend. He's a young guy. He does a lot of hunting and stuff, but really cool to see him carving. I think we inspired him to start carving a little. And just excited to see where he goes with it. This stuff's definitely a little harder.
Oops, sorry.
Yep.
Last Breath says your neighbors must think there's construction crew next door with all that pounding.
You know, Last Breath, that's one of the things that we're a little, you know, when I'm just here carving, we go down to the beach and I take my cordless battery-powered tools and sit on the beach and there's nobody around. But yeah, definitely, we're a little concerned about that. We don't know if we're going to get a knock on the door here, or this neighborhood is so quiet you hardly hear a peep. So the good thing is the wind is really whipping today, so I'm hoping that's kind of muffling stuff a little bit. And we're only going to be a couple hours, so hopefully there won't be too many issues.
Trucker Kevin says it's a Florida woodpecker.
If anybody says anything, we'll just holler out, bathroom remodel, bathroom remodel.
Sophie says you really have a beautiful view.
Thank you, Sophie. We don't, this isn't typical for us, so we're enjoying it.
Baby Kisses says if we get escorted out, we have to film it.
Baby Kisses, you should pray for us. Don't send us any bad luck.
Sophie says my view here is mountains of snow.
Well, Sophie, there's nothing wrong with mountains. That's where we come from. But if we're honest, we're not missing the snow right now.
Trucker Kevin says it would go viral, Baby Kisses. Last Breath said, we were always amazed when we were down there during spring breaks. Never anybody outside enjoying the weather in the neighborhood. They all just stayed indoors. I know. That's exactly how it is. I'm like, why don't you ever see anybody? Like,
I was afraid to go on the grass. And I was like, is there a rule you can't go on the grass? And we finally saw somebody walk their dog across.
Sophie says, we are expecting up to 65 centimeters of snow in 4 days, but that's cool.
You have fun with that, Sophie.
Says, I'm looking forward to spring. And
I will say Florida is chewing me up to some degree. Like everything here
oh my gosh.
bites you, picks you, pokes you, pricks you. Like as soon as you go off into the woods a little bit, you're just getting chewed up. My legs are a mess. So Florida's kind of rough in that regard. I'm pretty well immune to mosquito bites in New England, like in Hampshire, in Maine. I've always seen these people come in with all these welts and bumps, and I've always laughed at them. And just never had that experience. I think I'm kind of immune to it because I grew up there. And I get a mosquito bite and it's gone, and it's like a little bit of itch, and that's the end of it, you know? Catching a beating down here as far as that goes.
Electric Whittler says, it's no fun when you live in the heat and humidity all the time. And then he said, where did it go? Said, everything in the South is trying to bite you.
It's true. Yep. Something got me in the ocean the other day. We were wading in our knees, up to our knees, and something felt like it stung me on the foot, and I couldn't see anything.
And Runic says 4 years there. That was enough for us.
Yeah, I couldn't be here in the summer. The heat would definitely kill me.
Dollar Mountain Bluegrass says, man, I'm on the floor below you. We were wondering, ain't it time for a break or something?
That's awesome.
Electric says, try to stay away from the poison oak and poison ivy. Dirty says, wouldn't want to be this guy's neighbor. Keto Cheeto said, I lived in Bangor, down east.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Casey grew up in Lincoln, Maine.
Yep. Baby Kisses says, oatmeal in your bathtub, Casey. Put it in a sock. Helps stop the itching. Rhinestone Suzanne says, those mosquitoes down south are no joke.
Yeah.
Bear says, like drones. They're huge.
And you know what the other thing about the mosquitoes is here? I'm finding that the mosquitoes in New Hampshire are almost a little bit dumb. You just swat them. Down here, it's like you swat and swat and you just keep flying. You can't catch them. I'm not quick enough.
Keto Cheeto says, you might know my son. Who is your son? Last Electric says the oatmeal trick works. And Last Breath says the flying cockroaches are horrible down there when they hatch.
Okay, we haven't seen any of those.
Electric Whittler says mosquitoes travel in flocks. Oops. I don't think the angle on that side is going to work, so I'm going to keep it here.
Okay.
I feel like the way you're positioned, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nick Griffin, where are you at? Looks warm.
Hey, Nick. We're on Santa Rosa Island. It's near Pensacola, Florida.
Sophie says, I love working with wood chisels.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm mostly a chainsaw guy, but I could definitely see myself someday trading in the chainsaw for the chisels and the gouges.
Keto Cheeto says Byron Mary. I don't think I know them. Sophie says yes, and the sounds too. Nick asks, what wood species is that?
So this is some sort of pine, Nick. We're jonesing a little bit for wood here on the road. We could only carry so much with us in the truck. So this is something I cut at the last place we camped. And it has a real heavy pine scent. It smells like our white pine back home, only maybe on steroids. And definitely a little different than our white pine, but some sort of pine. Maybe somebody familiar with this area, like I bet Electric Whittler might have some insight or something.
My Honey's Handmade says it's nice with hand tools, no ear protection or lung protection.
That's true. I love working with these things, and I was watching Bear and the Boss Lady's live stream last night, and watching him chisel eyes in the bear, and he was talking about it being a slower process, and it is a little slower, but for stuff like chiseling eyes in a bear, there's that little bit of learning curve, like with most tools, that once you kind of get used to that speeds right up and you don't even notice.
Bear Mountain says looks like the yellow pines we have here in Southern California. Sophie says, so don't think it's white pine.
It's definitely not white pine. If I had known there'd be a lot of interest, I would have grabbed some of the needles that came from it. And, you guys could have seen them, but I just didn't think of it.
My Honey's Handmade said, I've enjoyed making boxes lately on my channel with hand tools and some power tools.
Definitely check out my Honey's Handmade. He's a talented woodworker and a good guy, and check out his channel. I know he does live streams. He gets really good views on his live streams and stuff. So
Last Breath said, have you noticed a lot of air traffic? Whenever we were down there, was a constant hum of jets and helicopters going in and out of military bases.
I wouldn't say constant, but definitely a lot more than we're used to. There's two really large helicopters that fly up and down the coast daily. I'm not sure what they are. They're good-sized helicopters. I mean, they almost look like National Guard, but I don't think they have the National Guard emblem. And mostly airliner traffic. I don't think I've seen any real military jets.
Dad is back.
Welcome back, Dad. Check out Dad's channel. He's last I saw, he's working on a bear head. He's carving with like a Dremel power tools, and he's got a fairly new channel, and still just starting out, kind of a channel, but lots of talent.
Try to get a different angle with this camera over here.
Just establishing the bottom of the nose here. I'm trying to make this face a little bit more elongated is what I'm shooting for, so kind of long features and stuff like that. This is one of those cuts if you're trying to pick up stuff or learn about face carving, is not to go too deep on this cut. You want these nostrils to sink back into the face instead of having the whole nose hanging off the face like a cliff.
Express says, if you like live music, check out Floribama while you're there. Multiple stages with many genres.
Sounds pretty cool. We'll keep that in mind.
Mark tries to carve, says, looking good. You're doing better than me with chisels.
Well, thank you, Mark. Don't sell yourself short, man. You do some serious stuff. If you haven't seen Mark's bench that he carved, that thing is crazy, just intricate. What I'm getting ready to do here, I think they call like a double diamond effect. So the nose is a little narrower between the eyes, and then it kind of swells typically a little bit, and then it comes down a little narrower. So we've got this part established pretty good. But I'm coming up here, and I'm actually going to undercut these cheekbones. So with this cut, I'm cutting under the cheekbones, and I'm also establishing the thinner part of the nose just above the nostrils there. Kind of, I guess I would consider it an important kind of a cut in the face carving process, at least for me.
Sophie says, white pine is really more tender.
Yeah, we work with a lot of white pine. We love that stuff. I worked with some maple when we were in Charleston, South Carolina. We were at Charleston Fossil Adventures, and they got us a piece of maple to chainsaw carve, and that stuff was just beautiful. And it's not like our typical maple that we have back in New Hampshire.
Runic says that stuff was absolutely gorgeous.
All the stuff in South Carolina, yeah. Last Breath was just asking about aircraft. We hear one now.
Baby Kisses says, I couldn't believe how pretty of grain that had. I bet they were tickled to have you there.
Yeah, it was pretty stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I start dreaming when I see wood that's literally that gorgeous, and just start thinking, my creative senses take over, and I start dreaming about all the stuff. I start thinking about like nautical carvings and all kinds of cool stuff I could do with it. But
Sophie says, oh maple, I have a huge 2K pound burl of red maple at home. Really lots of projects in mind.
wow, that sounds pretty cool.
And Sophie says, I'm going to make a video montage on this burl.
A video montage. Do you know what that is, Casey?
Nope. Nick Griffin says, how's the surf there? I think I spy some waves in the background. You should give it a try when you finish your carving.
I think fishing's more my speed, Nick. I wouldn't know the first thing about surfing, so if I got on a surfboard and get out there, if I didn't get eaten by a shark, I'd probably get drowned by a wave, so.
Wow.
Leave the surfing to you.
Sophie says your wood carving is going to be really awesome.
Thank you, Sophie. I will say that, I'm not any sort of a surfing expert, but it definitely looked surfable here. Far more surfable than the waves in New Hampshire. This stuff out back here is like a back bay. It's on the back side of the island, so it's in between the island and the mainland. It's more of a still water, almost kind of like a lake. I mean, it is tidal. It's connected to the ocean, but if you were to look the other way, out the other window, you could see the real ocean, and there's definitely some surf out there.
Nick says, "We'll make sure you get out fishing then."
That's tomorrow.
Last Breath said, "Helicopters were really bad the last time we were down there because they were searching for a couple people that got sucked out by riptides and they never found them."
Yeah, the ocean is a dangerous place. You definitely want to pay attention. We were out hunting for shells yesterday, and one of the techniques here is to wade out to your knees at low tide, and you kind of get to see some stuff that other people don't necessarily bother with. You get to see it's not been picked over as much. And the sand is changing every day. So you have like these sandbars that are 2 or 3 feet underwater that you can wade in that actually go out quite a ways. And the sand is shifting around, so we're out on some of those bars, and I had a few concerned moments. You know, you don't want to get trapped out on something like that. But
Sophie has to go.
see you later, Sophie.
Bye, Sophie.
Yep, thank you so much for joining us and hanging out.
Baby Kisses says, "Oh, that sounds dangerous like the Wisconsin River."
Yeah, we spend a lot of time in the outdoors, and the White Mountains where we are actually claims a lot of lives each year. So I'm definitely a veteran outdoorsman, and I know enough to really be cautious about the different aspects of nature, and, especially ones that I'm not that familiar with, like the ocean. I'm a little more leery.
Last Breath says, "I caught one little girl getting sucked out and her mom started yelling at me for touching her until others told her I had just saved her kid."
Wow. The world is definitely getting weird, Last Breath. I don't know. You hear about people on the subways getting arrested for trying to help others, and a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. Is Rhinestone Susan still in there?
Suzanne.
Suzanne?
And I believe so.
Just wanted to, I didn't realize that she was
Yep.
a member of the military, so we want to make sure and thank everybody who served in the military and let them know that we appreciate their service.
She says, "Semper Fi." And she said, "Thank you." John is here, says, where are you wood carving from?
We're on Santa Rosa Island in the state of Florida, United States of America. It's near Pensacola.
Jay Steele's Adventure and Variety is here.
Hey, Jansen. For anybody that's not checked out Jansen's channel, he's kind of a treasure hunter and all around good kind of a guy, decent fellow. But I'm always talking about we have like a treasure hunting kind of a bug, at least I do. I'm always beach combing and looking for different stuff. But hey, Jansen, check out my shark tooth I found. Turned it into a pendant that's going to be coming out in like a long form video, but we found some pretty cool fossils. And then on a kind of a separate kind of a deal that we were out, I stumbled onto some petrified wood. So just pretty neat stuff. Jansen I know is going to have an interest because he loves finding stuff in the outdoors.
John says that's a nice view for carving.
It's beauty. Yeah.
Baby Kiss says beautiful colored water.
It is really a turquoise kind of a color off the coast here.
Jansen says looks beautiful there.
I just watched Jansen's. He got a new watch. I think it's called an Invictus. And I've always been intrigued by watches, and honestly those like skeleton watches, I don't know if you would call those like steampunk or what they are, but they always seem so expensive. But those Invictus watches, I kind of Googled them after I saw Jansen's video, and they look like a really cool watch. For a reasonable price, I guess.
Baby Kiss says, I can't wait to see what you guys do with your wood finds. I think she's talking about the petrified wood.
Yeah, I've got some definite ideas with that. And I'm into knives, like pocket knives. This is a buck 110. It's one of my favorite everyday carry kind of knives. And I think I'm going to customize a buck 110 and put the petrified wood on the handles. I think that stuff polishes up real nice. And so that's the other kind of project I was thinking of, was carving like a woolly mammoth.
Last Breath says he's got to go help the wifey with dinner.
Thank you so much for being here, Last Breath. We appreciate you.
Matt Carves is here, says bringing out the chisels. Beautiful location.
Hey, Matt, thank you very much.
Jay Steele says Invicta are cheap. Trekker Kevin says, in case y'all didn't know, that is officially called the Gulf of America now. LOL.
We were talking about that earlier. I told Casey that we're a little bit late. We'll never be able to touch the Gulf of Mexico. I think she said it's not official yet or something.
I don't know. I don't understand it.
I guess I'm not sure. But
Jay Steele says, I have to go back to work. Have a great evening, you two, and everyone in the chat box.
thank you for stopping in, Jansen.
Oh, Trucker Kevin says it's official because it's on Google Maps now. I've been like watching for it. Like I've been checking Google Maps to see if it's changed. I guess it has now. Bradley B is here.
Hey, Bradley, welcome.
Oops. Mark tries to car says kind of looking like the barbarian from Clash of Clans.
Never heard of him.
Bear Mountain Chainsaw Carving asks, have you carved a tiki there yet? Got to be some palms around.
I have not carved a tiki. That's one thing I've never done in my life. I've just really never had much of an interest. Something else that seems to be fairly popular is cardinals. And Baron the Boss Lady carves a ton of cardinals. You can see one back here in the background. And just never done it. I think they're good sellers. I think they're good projects. I have done more than my fair share of little bears, though.
Bradley B says, glad to be here. Looks sweet.
Thank you, Bradley. We're glad you're here.
My slot hob here says hello.
How are you?
Bear Mountain Chainsaw says, I see the Cardinals back east a lot, but not many here on the west coast.
I'm surprised how widespread they are. In New Hampshire, they're actually very rare. We occasionally have them show up at the bird feeder, but it's like it's one of those sightings that you treasure because it's so rare. We noticed them in Ohio. They seem to be one of the most common birds around. I know chickadees are very common where we are, and I would say in Ohio they were almost as common as chickadees. And then when we were on Hunting Island in South Carolina, we had them there. So
Keto Cheeto says, Jesus is Lord. Everything you lay your hands on was from creation.
thank you for that, Cheeto. Couldn't agree more.
Baby Kisses says, I gave mine to the kids. The moms grabbed up the cardinals. My sock pop says, that looks like a face.
That's a face.
Bradley B says, we get cardinals here in Michigan. And Runic says, lots of cardinals here in Kentucky.
So I didn't realize you were from Kentucky, Runic. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump from Ohio. I know Baron the Boss Lady are in Ohio.
My thought Bob asks, where is that place? Nice view on the sea.
We're actually traveling, so this is not our typical scenery. We're on Santa Rosa Island, and that's it's right near Pensacola, Florida.
Nick says, we have a black bear that lives on our property. I'd love to get over to see Bear and buy one of his carvings so it can have a friend, lol. My sock hop asks, can you turn your cat backwards?
Can you turn what?
Your cat backwards.
How's that?
Baby Kiss says, did you drive there or take a barge?
We drove here, Baby Kisses. We've driven all up the East Coast. We've been stopping in some pretty cool places. We stopped in Ohio and we saw Bear and the Boss Lady. And we actually did a live stream with them. I don't know if you saw that one, Baby Kisses. And then we jumped over to South Carolina. We were at Charleston for a minute. And we went with Charleston Fossil Adventures. And I'm pretty sure you saw us carving that beautiful wood there. And we actually camped in Beaufort, which is not far from there on Hunting Island. And I will say that place was gorgeous. That's one of the coolest places we've camped. It's right on the ocean. And I visited my daughters. After South Carolina, Hunting Island, we went to stay in a campground just about an hour outside of Jacksonville, Florida. And my daughter is in school there. She's flying around all the time in the skies. She's becoming a pilot. She's going to eventually be an airline pilot. And now we're here in Pensacola.
And I think she meant, like, did you drive to the island? So yes, there's a big bridge. I don't know if you can see it in the distance.
Yep.
That we drove across to get to the island. And Nick Griffin says, cool to see you working on the road. Have a great adventure.
Thank you, Nick.
My Sop Pop says coolness, so I think he's very pleased with your hat now.
All right.
Cheeto says, I feel to share a man's video. Rob Skiba, the Genesis Revelation.
What's this now?
We'll have to look it up.
Video recommendation?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll check that out. Yeah, we're definitely lovers of Jesus. We're Christians.
My Soft Pop says, is that a real shark tooth you wear on your neck?
So yeah, we found this in South Carolina. I actually found it on the beach. And so it's a fossilized shark tooth. It's actually, I guess, stone technically, but at one time it was in a shark's mouth. An extinct shark. I think the sharks were bigger back then, so they had bigger teeth.
Neville Scott says Groot.
Just a face in a branch, a tree guy kind of a guy.
Can't believe that battery hasn't died yet. My Sop Pub asked, is she your house slave?
Casey? She's definitely my wife. I don't think I would dare say the S word. You could get me in some really big trouble there.
Cheeto says he's got some mascara.
Yeah. I don't draw too much on the carvings, but I like to draw on the brow line. And honestly, for people that are really anybody, it's good to draw a center line, and you can actually kind of try and make both sides even.
And Adventure Inventors says, I have one of these cards by a Native American friend.
Very cool.
And my Sop Hub says I should have said servant.
No. We're definitely, definitely, I think we're equal in the eyes of the Lord. Men and women are created equal. And, No, we don't believe in that kind of stuff. So.
Bear in the Box Lady says, heck yeah, looking good.
Thanks, Bear. What's funny?
Oh, I gotta change my battery on the camera.
Cracking up watching me squirm with the comments.
Let's see. Trucker Kevin says, awkward moment. I'm gonna take this for a second. I gotta deal with the camera.
Sure. Guys are stuck with me for a second. Mark tries the carb, is still in there. I don't know who said that, but I think he's on notice, man. Cat's gonna tear him up, or somebody will get him. I bet Rhinestone will get him. Wow, you got 100 people in there watching this? It's pretty cool. Everybody hit the like button. No, Casey's far more beautiful than that. Aiden Fletcher says Casey sightings are like Bigfoot sightings. They're pretty rare. So, uh-oh. Looks like Rhinestone got somebody, man. She, I don't know if it was that guy or not, but she gave somebody the boot. Get him, Rhinestone.
Oh, yeah, it was him.
Yep, there we go. I knew it was coming. Woo! Wow. All right. You all set?
Yeah, I'm good. Josh is here, says looks awesome.
Josh? Which one?
Night Owl says, I don't remember saying that, LOL.
Did he say it, Casey?
Yep, he said it.
I think it's when we live streamed with Bear. He said that was she got a moment there on film, and he said it was more rare than a Bigfoot sighting.
He says, but it's most likely true. Rhinestone Suzanne says, yeah, can't disrespect the ladies.
She's a Marine too, man. I'm telling you right now. I don't think I'd want to mess with her. Especially after you see the axe that she made.
Night Owl says, how's the holiday, Casey? You guys having fun? So much fun. Enjoying the warmer weather. Baby Kisses says, that's right, Suzanne, tell him. And Rhinestone Suzanne says, I don't mind being the bouncer. Keto Cheeto says, talk about how you sharpen your chisels.
So I have a Tormek. It's a Tormek grinder, and it's basically a stone wheel, and it spins around at a slow RPM. The last thing you want to do with your chisels and gouges is heat up the steel. You'll ruin the temper. So it's a slow RPM stone, and the stone also sits in a little bucket of water underneath it, so the stone is constantly wet. It keeps the chisels cool. And then on the other side of the grinder is it's a leather strop, and I put polishing compound on it. Right now, honestly, you shouldn't have to really sharpen your stuff on a stone too often. Really, you should just be stropping your tools every time you use them. So what I'm using is just an old piece of leather belt, and I do have this, it's the Tormek brand polishing compound. Again, you really shouldn't have to touch your tools up on the stone unless you ding them or chip them or drop them, or for anybody that's just starting out with chisels and gouges, these things really should be like razor blades. And so you don't want the tools touching each other, you don't want the tools touching a metal surface. Even just a little touch is enough to make it dull. But again, I usually do this on a grinder, but just strop them to kind of maintain that razor's edge, and make sure you're not dragging the edge of the blade. So if you're too steep on your angle, you can literally feel that blade drag on the leather, and you're actually dulling your tool at that point. It should ride right on the bevel, and that leather is soft enough so that when you push down on the bevel, it rides up and just polishes the edge of your tool.
John says if you get the cheap chisels, they need to be sharpened.
Really?
Tucker and Gary is here.
Hey Tucker, Gary, how are you guys doing? Glad you're in here. And I don't know if you know Gary, but we're traveling. We're on the road. We're in Santa Rosa Island in Florida right now. So Tucker and I put out some cool videos. He's up in Newfoundland. I've definitely got to get caught up on his videos. It looks like he likes to tent out in the outdoors and in the wintertime weather. And I think he's got a pizza video out now that he cooks in his tent or something. But you could tell him about it if you want, Gary. And, but fun channel. He's got a chocolate lab.
Rhinestone Suzanne says, okay guys, I gotta run. It's been a pleasure as always. See you all later. Gotta start a different carving project tonight. Have a blessed night, CD777.
Thank you, Rhinestone Suzanne. Appreciate you being here. And for anybody that's not familiar with her channel, check her out. Make sure and subscribe and watch her videos. Having trouble staying focused here.
Norse Carve Craft says, just saying hi before getting to bed. We'll leave the stream on for support.
Thank you so much, Norse. We appreciate you.
Gary from Tucker and I said, yeah, Tucker is nursing a sore foot tonight, so he's going to have a couple days of rest until that heals.
What happened?
Tucker hurt his foot. So, poor Tucker.
Poor Tucker. Typical lab, though. They're pretty rambunctious.
Bear says, what in the Samuel Adams Boston Lager will y'all do next?
Who, us?
Yeah.
As far as carvings?
I don't know.
Still trying to figure that out, Bear. We don't know what we're doing from one day to the next.
West Country Mudlarks is here.
Welcome, West Country. There's another treasure hunter. If you've not seen his channel, definitely check him out. You can watch to see what kind of cool things he digs out of the mud from bygone eras.
Ninny and Pops Woodshop says afternoon all, just got off work.
Hey guys, welcome in. Glad you're able to join us.
Baby Kisses says creation was jonesing to carve. I'd say must be in his blood.
Yeah, it's just a constant drive, constant desire to want to create things for sure.
Atlas Forever said I had to leave for a bit, but I'm back.
Welcome back in, Alice. Just gonna start sinking the corners of the eyes down in. So we're trying to really create a kind of a couple of deep gouges on either side of the eye so you can really get that eye rounded over.
Atlas Forever asks, what are you going to be making next?
We're not sure, Ellis. We're traveling. We're on the road, so we're actually trying to find places to chainsaw carve. That's really our thing, and I do love these hand carvings. I love carving them, but I'm getting excited to fire up the chainsaws. So I would love to carve like a pelican. You know, kind of inspired. We're seeing pelicans everywhere, and but number one, we have to find a place to run chainsaws, and number two, we have to find a piece of wood. So it's proven to be a little bit difficult.
Night Owl says, BRB, gluing parts on my owl. And John says, isn't there a joke about why such a long face?
A joke? I'm not sure about that.
You never heard somebody say that?
Oh, like a long sad face?
Yeah.
I got you, okay. He might have a long face, but he's going to be a happy guy.
Rick Smith is back.
Well, welcome back, Rick. What did Aiden say about his owl?
He's going to glue some parts on his owl.
Oh, nice. If you guys haven't seen Aiden Fletcher's channel, he's called Night Owl, and he's working on a steampunk owl right now. It's really cool, so definitely check it out. As soon as I saw it, man, I had to smile. So.
Keto Cheeto says, Gatlinburg, Tennessee is a tourist trap town. They got artists and crafters.
Yeah, I think Bear and the Boss Lady were there not too long ago. I'm pretty sure that's where they were. And they did like a video of it, and it looked like there was a crazy amount of wood carvers there.
Rick Smith was visiting Honey's channel.
Right on.
Atlas Forever says, I carved a bird last week.
That's kind of cool. What sort of bird did you carve, Alice?
Mark tries to carve, says, now it's looking like a wizard from a 70s rock album.
Wow. Sorry.
It's okay.
You step on your toe.
Atlas said a cardinal.
Very cool. Is that maybe a chainsaw carved cardinal? I don't know. Did you see Bear's cardinal over there?
I don't know. Bear and Boss Lady's cardinal carving. Mr. Rex says looks like a goat. I don't know if he means you're carving or what.
Yeah, it can be whatever you want. Just don't forget to like and subscribe.
Atlas Forever said, how big is your yard?
We're actually from New Hampshire, Atlas, and right now in New Hampshire there's a whole bunch of snow and ice and stuff like that. So we're visiting down in Florida. We're near Pensacola on Santa Rosa Island. So you might say we're traveling a little bit right now, and we're at a condo that we rented for a spell, and so they have a magnificent backyard here. It's gigantic.
Keto Cheeto says, Dollywood and Gatlinburg hires crafters, glassworks, iron, etc.
They hire them? Is that what he said?
Yep. Oh. John says, more snow will be coming to New Hampshire as we are getting snow now.
John's from New Hampshire.
Are you from New Hampshire, John? Atlas Forever says, oh, nice. And Roy's Timber Art Technique says, hi, everyone. I have started to use chisels and knives.
Hey, Roy. Welcome in. Welcome to the channel. And so good to hear that you're using the chisels and the knives and stuff. And it seems like more and more people get away from that in favor of like rotary tools, and obviously power carving's a little quicker and that kind of stuff. And there's a pretty significant learning curve to the gouges and the knives and stuff, and simply just keeping them sharp is a little bit. But I do think it's a valuable thing.
Night Owl says, I bet they don't got no sparkly spiders in that condo.
We have not seen one sparkly spider, although we have not been out here after dark either, so got to be fair about it.
Whistler says, snowbirds.
We are this year.
John says, I am in Ontario, but the snow is heading east. Oh, that's right. I remember him saying that he was from Canada.
Yep, we love Canada. I was up there years ago. I don't hunt anymore, but I actually drove to northern Ontario. And we drove across the northern route, across the northern part of Ontario. And we went to Menaki, I think, which is near Lake of the Woods, kind of. It's north of there. But we almost ran out of gas driving across that northern route, man. There wasn't very many gas stations, and this is going back a few years. But beautiful country up there. Killed a real nice 8-point buck, and there were wolves there. So just a neat place.
Atlas Forever says, I used to live where it snowed.
Used to sounds like a really good thing to me.
Roy's Timber Art said, I still use power carving. I'm using flex cut chisels and knives. What do you think of that brand?
I still power carve too. I'm a big proponent of all the different tools have their place. You get these guys that are just like 100%. All they'll use is chisels and gouges and stuff, and they think anything else is a sin. And then you have the other way around, people that just use rotary tools and other power. And I just feel like when you combine all the tools together, you get your best result. I think each tool has strong points and weak points, and but as far as the tool brand, I use Lamp brand tools, and honestly, I think they've stopped making those tools. I used to get them out of Inglewood, Florida, at Woodcarver's Supply, and I went on to purchase a few different shaped tools that I wanted, and it seems like you can't get them anymore.
Keto, oops, go ahead.
Yeah, these tools are phenomenal. Just quickly about the fail, I think he asked about fail tools.
Flex
cut. I know they enjoy a really good reputation. I've never tried those tools, but I do think they are a good brand.
Keto Cheetah said, I got a few chainsaws and carve firewood.
You got a few chainsaws and he carves firewood?
Yep.
That's awesome, man. Like, that's a great way to start out, is get a chainsaw and get some basically free kind of wood, and yeah, I love hearing that.
Whistler X says, you guys see any gators yet?
You know, we've not seen a gator yet.
I'm disappointed. I wanted to see one.
We were wading around in a brook, or I guess a small river, which is fresh water, and I found some petrified wood, which is like one of the highlights of our trip. I'm so excited about that, and it's like finding treasure. But the gators were on my mind when I was wading around in that brook. I have to admit, I was thinking about that a little bit. We walked by, you know, the shallow parts weren't too bad, but when you're walking along the edge of a deep hole, you kind of wonder, is something going to come up out of there, you know? But as far as I'm concerned, it's a blessing that we haven't seen any gators yet. I know Casey wants to see one. So.
Not while we're in the water, though. While we're a safe distance away. Mark Tries to Carve said, it never snows here, but it does get cold in the winter. And John says, lots of critters to see in northern Ontario. Ninny and Pop Switch Up says y'all should come to Kentucky September 19th through the 21st for the French Lick Block Bash and Chainsaw Carving event hosted by Bear Hollow Chainsaw Carvers.
Huh, I've never heard of that. That sounds pretty cool.
Atlas Forever asked, do you guys go to church?
Yeah, we do. We're huge fans of being Christians and of followers of Jesus Christ. And absolutely, we go to church.
Royce Timber Art says, I'm combining the tools. Mark Tries to Carve says that he has to go.
Thanks for stopping in, Mark, and hanging out for such a nice long while. We appreciate you.
Keto Cheeto says, I just do firewood is all, but I got a couple hundred cypress branches in the yard to make doodads. Haven't yet.
It wasn't locked.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got some cypress knees years ago, and I don't know what the rules are concerning those now, if you're still allowed to get those, but back in the 90s, my grandfather was coming to Florida, and he purchased a couple of them legally for me to carve. It was something he thought I might find interesting, and I did. I carved them, and I'm just kind of curious if you can still legally acquire those. I've heard different mixed things about it.
Bear the Boss Lady says, okay, guys, I got to go. Have a teaching assignment to present as part of our worship tonight. We'll try to catch up on the end tomorrow.
I'm excited to hear about what you're doing, Bear. Sounds like you're have some stuff going on, like teaching and learning, and just excited to, I guess, talk to you about what you're up to. But have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Keto Cheeto said, bought a sawmill, clients trying to take it over. Bad people.
Somebody's trying to take over a sawmill?
Apparently.
Wow. So I don't know if Roy's Timber Arts is still in there, but it's good to get to see me play with the power tools a little.
He's still here. Atlas River has to go. Says,
Later, Atlas.
hope to see you on the next live.
We hope so. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Whistler X says, live in Arizona, been a warm winter, but today is cold.
Yeah, we're big fans of warm weather. Are you a wood carver? Kind of curious what sort of stuff you carve in Arizona.
Roy asked, what rotary tool is that?
So this is just kind of a cheap tool. It's a Ryobi, and it runs on these little batteries. But we love carving in the outdoors. Like we'll hike and carve, and right now we're carving a lot on the ocean front and on the beach. And so these cordless tools are just really great. I will say about this little one right here, it's been a tough little tool, man. I've put a lot of usage on it. I feel like the batteries hold up well. I get like 5 or 6 of the batteries. And so I would recommend this if I'm not sponsored or anything, but if somebody's looking for a good cordless rotary tool. I mean, obviously it's not real heavy duty like some of the probably Dremels and that kind of stuff, but this has been a good tool for me.
Roy says, I have a Fordham with a flex shaft.
I've got a Fordham too, and that's kind of my go-to. It's I think it's the Fordham TX, and yeah, that's an awesome tool. I will say my foot pedal burnt out, and then I replaced the control, and it burnt right back out again. So it only runs like wide open, full speed, and that's fine with me. That's mostly how I use it anyways. But other than that, it seems like heavy duty and durable kind of a tool.
Got William Arnold here, says it looks like a piece of pine you're working on.
It is. This is some sort of Florida pine.
And Whistler X says he's a plumber carpenter. Lots of work out there.
Out where?
Arizona. This is
Oh,
the person who says he's from Arizona.
yep. Yeah, that's good trades to be in. Sounds good to me there, Casey.
506.
So I think we're gonna go till about 5:30 tonight.
Okay.
And, this wood's a little harder, so we may not necessarily finish this carving today, but
Roy asked, do you ever watch Alec with Axe?
you know, I have a great deal of respect for Alec Lacasse, and I don't know him. I have watched some of his stuff, not real in depth. I know he has like some courses and stuff, and of all the people that I might like to kind of learn from, or you know, I'm at some point might like to take his courses. He's such a crazy good face carver, and I mean that's what he focuses on. That's his forte. I think he does some other stuff, but primarily he's a face carver, and he's excelled at that. It really shows. So super talented guy, and a lot of respect for that guy. I'd love someday to get to know Alec on some level, and but his face carvings are next level. I think he started when he was a real young guy, literally like a kid, and it shows. So he's still a pretty young guy, and he's just really excelled at face carving. So I guess the short answer is I know of him, and I'm subscribed to his channel, so I tune in once in a while. He doesn't seem to do like a real ton of how-to stuff. I think you have to get onto his course to really delve deep into that. I do know another carver that literally took his course and paid for his tutorial stuff, and that guy improved so drastically. Like his carving game just went from kind of basic to out of this world in a short amount of time. So I think if you can take Alec's course, it's probably worthwhile. And again, it's once you've been carving a little while and you start to excel at what you do, you start looking around for other people that can teach you something, or something that you can pick up or glean that you don't know. So I feel like Alec is again, it's his forte, but I think there's something there for me. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts about Alec Lacasse.
West Country Mudlark says he's back, lost connection.
Okay, welcome back in.
Whistler's X says have a great day.
Thank you, Whistler. You too.
William Arnold said, I get free pine for my job. I drive a log truck, start a chainsaw, carving and whittling.
Right on. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you drive a log truck, That's who I get my logs from. I don't really get them from the mill or from the logger. I talk to the truck drivers, and they keep me supplied with logs. So you've got a huge head start right there if you're a log truck driver. But man, what a cool side hustle.
Ron Swihart said, enjoy watching, but have to get ready for Wednesday evening. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Ron. We appreciate you.
Roy says that Alec Lacasse just did a fantastic carving of Jesus on the cross.
Yes, I saw that. That was out of this world, and yep, for sure.
Rick Smith says, Jordy Johnson made me want to get into the hobby and knowledge.
Yeah, I tune in. I'm subscribed to Jordy, and I tune into his channel once in a while and check out the stuff that he's doing. And he has a pretty significant following on YouTube. Yeah, I definitely check out his stuff once in a while.
Rick Smith says, also Doug Linker.
Yep, Doug is I think one of the original kind of whittlers, kind of knife whittle guys. And he's just got tons of instructional stuff up if you're into small whittle carvings and stuff.
William Arnold said, love the cardinal in the background, I see.
Yeah, that's Bear and the Boss Lady carving. They gifted it to us. If you've not seen their channel, definitely check them out. Bear's a great chainsaw carver, a good guy all around. He was in the live stream here earlier.
West Country says, all these carving channels are amazing.
Thank you, West Country. We've definitely got a good group of people, and Bear calls them a tribe. I call them a community, but just a lot of good people and a lot of talented people too. And we love them all, so definitely highly recommend that you support their YouTube channels. And it's really encouraging to get those views and to get that support and stuff.
A carving wizard is here.
Hey Perry, how are you?
Michael S. says, hi Mr. and Mrs. CD77 and everyone else. We are on the road coming back from a doctor's appointment for my daughter. Hope to be back before you get off. But if not, have a good one and God bless.
Thanks for stopping in, Michael. And we appreciate you. We're going to be in prayer for you and your daughter. And we hope God blesses you guys greatly. Michael S. is one of our awesome moderators, and we just appreciate him a lot. And I think we're going to be doing a live stream from his place here in a few weeks. So I'm going to shoot you an email about that, Michael. And Perry, the carving wizard, we were just talking about community and stuff like that. Check out his channel. He's got a fairly new channel. He does a lot of Dremel carving and stuff.
William Arnold watches Bear and the Boss Lady. Doug Linker, Kyle Hall, and Jordy. And all of us.
That's a pretty good lineup, and we appreciate you.
Roy says, I'm working on a cat-faced birdhouse. It's funny to watch the birds go in and out of the mouth.
Yeah, I noticed that about Roy's timber art. And he's got a YouTube channel. Pop over and check him out. But definitely noticed that he seems to specialize in the bird houses with the the face on the front. Those things are really cool.
And the Carving Wizard said, just editing a video, saw you on live and had to jump on.
Well, we appreciate you stopping in. And we were literally just talking about community and all the different talented people that hang out on these live streams and stuff. So Perry is a veteran from our United States military veteran. And, he likes to carve wood, so good guy to support.
This country says it's such an awesome community, such nice people.
Really blessed. It's one of the things when I joined YouTube that I didn't really anticipate or count on. And I will say, I've been carving 28 years, and I feel like that's one of the things I've been missing out on. And it's just such a great aspect to be part of a community of artists and woodworkers and talented people. And it's a lot of fun.
Matt Carves says, gotta go. Have fun on your road trip. See ya, everyone.
Thanks, Matt. We appreciate you being here.
Baby Kisses says, my husband just showed me where you guys are on Google Earth. Too cool.
Quickly, I want to shout out Matt Carves. That guy's a really awesome wood carver, talented. He's from New Zealand. I should have mentioned him sooner. But sometimes I get distracted trying to carve and talk. But check out Matt Carves. That guy's got a ton of instructional stuff. And he's a firefighter and just a real respectable kind of a guy. Does a lot of cool stuff. And I've learned some tidbits from Matt Carves' channel.
Roy's Timber Art says, what a wonderful view you have when carving.
We're pretty blessed today, Roy. This isn't our typical view.
And the Carving Wizard said, everyone helps everyone. It's a beautiful thing and community.
It really is. Pretty cool stuff. Anybody that's watching that I can't recommend enough. If you are looking for a community of artists and good people to hang out with, man, everybody is just supportive and positive, and there's really not any negativity or drama. It's just amazing. It's a lot of fun. So I can see we're kind of running short on time. I think we're going to finish this guy on a separate live stream. We've got him pretty close. I really have to just cut in the details in the eyes and the nostrils and do a little bit of finish work.
Roy's Timber Art said, costs nothing to be kind.
This is true, and that's I guess one of the lessons it's good for all of us to kind of learn, and I think we could all stand to be a little more kind, and that includes me, especially first and foremost. I will say in the South, it's amazing how kind and how friendly people are by comparison to where we are in New Hampshire or New England. And don't get me wrong, I love our area, but the level of friendliness is just shocking here. People wave, they say hi. There can be a lot of glares and cold stares, and I don't know how else to say it, but the South is friendly. South Carolina and Florida, and just an unusual. Casey and I are both like people serving us in like McDonald's even, or just restaurants, and just a shocking amount of just genuine kindness, good people. So we love it here.
Baby Kisses says it has been exciting to see you and Bear hook up. I was really thrilled.
Bear's a lot of fun, man. If you guys haven't checked out Bear and the Boss Lady, you should check out their live streams. And that guy will crack you up. Like if you watch his live stream, you're gonna laugh. So just great guy. And I will say, you know, sometimes people, you see them on YouTube or on whatever, and you don't think they're going to be that same kind of person when you meet them. Maybe they're not going to be quite as nice as they seem. That's not true with Bear, man. Like, he is just a genuine guy. So one of my favorite people that I've met on YouTube, and just awesome to be able to work with him and interact and that kind of stuff. And he's really grown as a wood carver, and just doing some cool stuff. So just watch him grow by leaps and bounds. And great guy.
William Arnold said, "Got to go, y'all. May God keep you safe or keep you all safe travels. Got to get unloaded."
Thank you, William. God bless, man.
Daryl says it's Southern hospitality.
I believe in it, Daryl. I'm telling you, it's. I don't want to be negative, but it can be pretty cold where we come from, and it's refreshing. It's in a way, it's almost sad because you realize what you're missing out on, and where we are, people kind of close down and build walls, and I don't know. Even our minister at our church talks about it a lot, how cold and secluded that people become, and I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's all that snow and ice makes people grumpy, but it really is refreshing, and I'm not just saying it. It's shocking to come someplace where people are so kind, and yeah, the young people, the kids, the teenagers and stuff are just respectful, and you know, we're not in the city either. I mean, yeah, I don't know what the difference is, and I do know that there's a greater Christian presence in the South. We see mega churches and churches and churches and churches, and we see billboards advertising for Jesus. So I like to think that maybe that has something to do with some of the kindness and goodness in the South. A lot of good people here. Time you got there, Casey?
5:22.
All right. So I think we're gonna call it an evening, and quickly we'll do like the verse of the day. We're gonna do like a scripture verse, which we typically do at the end of the live stream, and but I wish we had finished this guy up. But it's going to stretch into a second live stream. I don't want to make the neighbors here too upset with all this noise and racket going on. I think they're used to peace and quiet. But verse of the day. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. So trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. And for me, that comes into play. I felt like the Lord spoke that to me during times when I've been going through something difficult or some sort of struggle, and I just don't understand. And I find myself saying, Lord, I don't understand. And so I believe that after some hard knocks on the head, that he finally delivered this verse to me. And but basically, who am I to question God? Who am I to say I don't understand? And honestly, as I look back, even through the painful and difficult times, that I could see his hand at work and how he was shaping and molding, and how all those things are used for the good. So if you're going through difficult times, or recommend dwelling on that verse, maybe look that up. But yeah, I got to a point where I was questioning the Lord, and that wasn't a very good thing for me. It wasn't a pleasant experience. I think that He dealt with me in such a way that if you read Job, Job is questioning why he's going through all the things that he's going through. And then finally at the end of Job, God says, you know, did you create the sea? Did you form the earth? Did you create the stars in the heavens? Did you? And one of our pastors, Pastor Jimmy, recently did a sermon on, it had to do a little bit with Job and suffering and that kind of stuff. And one of the cool things that he talked about was that the book of Job doesn't really explain the suffering. God never really answers the question. And that's something that I hadn't really thought about before, even though Job suffers greatly, and he was, you know, God said that he was one of the best people, one of the best Christians. So, at any rate, I would highly encourage not to question God, and not to try to understand. Sometimes there's just things that we don't get, and we're not going to understand. And but trust Him. And I think I'm going to leave you guys with that, and we'll see you guys next time.